It doesn't matter. It doesn't
That's
matter.
all that matters. I'm an officer. I take to orders.
So what? You had a who than me.
So I'm an officer. I take to orders.
To order that you take the camera.
3-star general.
Okay.
You can't say no. That means
You can never develop this property. I will not allow it.
No problem, sir.
I'm
only acting on my orders.
If you want to kill everybody, kill everybody.
We will not kill
You
anybody.
cannot.
We will not. We will not kill anybody, sir.
You put yourself in trouble.
We will not.
My
friend, you see?
What is that? You cannot shut me up. No, you cannot shut me up. You are my senior. You cannot even talk when I'm talking. Because
I have to reach you.
You're only that way. I'll be talking and policemen will be talking.
You are taking with us. You don't have any.
I'm not to carry security to intimidate.
I'm sure you must have seen the video trending online about the altercation between a Nigerian minister and a Nigerian soldier. People are wondering, can a soldier refuse a minister's order? Some are saying, I thought a minister is higher than a soldier. Now let's clear this up. Yes, constitutionally, a minister outranks an ordinary soldier in Nigeria's government hierarchy. Ministers are appointed by the president under Section 147 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended. As we know, they head federal ministries and they wage significant governmental power. Soldiers are members of armed forces who operate under military command and are ultimately subject to civilian authority. So, if a minister outranks a soldier, why couldn't the minister just order them to stop? Now here is where it gets interesting. The Nigerian Constitution established something called civilian supremacy. This means civilian government controls the military. But here is the key. This doesn't mean any politician can give orders to any soldier at any time, because military officers operate under a chain of command. So that naval officer answers first to his immediate superior officers, the chief of defense staff or chief of naval staff, and ultimately the president, who is also the commander-in-chief. Now notice what is missing. Individual ministers. A minister cannot just walk onto a military site and override military operations. That is not how the chain of command works. That is not how our constitution works. So if that officer had valid orders from his superiors and the land was legally acquired, he has every right. Actually, he has a duty to continue his mission. But here's another crucial point. The law. The officer stated that the military legally acquired that land. So if the Nigerian armed forces have proper legal documentation, whether through allocation, purchase, or government grant, then they have legal right to that property. A minister cannot simply walk in and invalidate legal property rights. That is not governance. That is an abuse of power. Even if the minister believes that there is an error or dispute about the land, there are proper channels. He can either take it to the president or Federal Executive Council. He can pursue legal actions through the courts. He can as well work through interministerial committees. What he cannot do is just show up and demand immediate compliance like he is on a movie set. It doesn't work that way. Now, why does this matter to you? Because this is about the rule of law. This is about checks and balances. Imagine if any politician could walk into any military installation and start giving orders. Imagine if personal power mattered more than legal processes. That is not democracy. That is chaos. That military officer was not being disrespectful. He was doing his job correctly by following his chain of command, respecting legal property rights, and refusing to be intimidated by political pressure. This is actually what we want our military to do. Follow lawful orders and proper procedure, not the whims of individual politicians. So to answer the question, yes, a minister is constitutionally higher than a soldier in government hierarchy. But no, that doesn't mean a minister can override military operations, ignore chains of command, or invalidate legal rights. So the officer was right to stand his ground, and the minister should follow proper channels if he has concerns about that land. This is not about disrespecting civilian authority. This is about respecting the constitution and the rule of law that protects all of us. So what do you think? Did the officer handle these correctly, or the minister should have approached these differently? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you learned something new about how our government actually works, hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns of Nigerian law and politics. See you in the next video.